In less than 5 minutes, I'm going to be explaining why wanting to improve is actually not enough in school. Let me quickly say a big thank you to our growing community, to every teacher, every student, everybody out there who is liking, subscribing. If you know you didn't subscribe, please do so right now. All right. Now, let's just go straight into the research that speaks to answering the question we have today. Research number one is by David and colleagues. It's titled The Challenge of Change: Understanding the Role of Habits in University Students' Self Regulated Learning in Higher Education. Research number two is by Zimmerman, titled Goal Setting: A Key Proactive Source of Academic Self Regulation in Motivation and Self Regulated Learning. Okay, guys, so this is my sister, Makafui. And when we began the year, we all decided that we are going to set New Year resolutions. Her resolution was that she was going to be working on the Green Life Health mat. If you know that mat, she was going to be working on it every single morning. 6th January, and she's already given up. Now, the truth of the matter is that there are a ton of us that are in the same situation, probably unique to your own context. And if you're a student, you may have realized that when you began the school year, you probably set your goals right. You were feeling very motivated. There's actually a real psychological effect at play here. The truth of the matter is that when you look at research within educational and behavioral psychology, it tells us that when we are exposed to novelty, like a new year, like a new term, you actually feel that short term increase in intention and motivation. And that's the reason why probably you felt very focused, you felt very energetic and motivated setting those goals. But here's the kicker: motivation is actually not the same as behavior. You wanting to improve doesn't always mean that you will stay true to your promises or your resolution. Your brain operates using two systems. Now, one system is what manages your goals, your conscious goals. So, for example, things you plan to do, your New Year resolutions, the things you promise to do. Now, the second aspect or the second system is what controls your habits, those habits that are influenced by things like time, fatigue, the environment you find yourself in. These two systems are constantly competing, and honestly, it's not equal. Habits usually win. But no, I'm not saying that it's impossible for you to sustain your new behavior or to reach your goals. You actually code with self regulation, that mental effort to want to monitor your actions, to avoid distractions, and to try to stay aligned with your goals. But yeah, it's very neurologically expensive. It's expensive because you just think of it as a student. The term is getting very busy. There's a lot of cognitive fatigue coming in there. Your brain wants to revert to your old habits, not because you are lazy, but simply because doing that is less expensive for you to do. It's mastered it and it's easier to go back there. Now, another reason why you are probably going to fail is because of the feedback problem. Now, let me talk to you as a student. The goals that you set, like for example, I'll improve my grades this term, actually have no short term signal that tells you that your effort is actually working. And without any form of short term form of feedback, the reward system that your brain has actually begins to disengage. And once that motivation drops, then there's a problem. Now, the worst part of it is that once you begin to slip within the early stages, you begin to interpret it like an individual failure, not a systems failure. And the danger here is that that leads you to have that loss of belief that effort actually could lead to change. Once that belief is no longer there, everything collapses. So, putting everything together, you'd realize that it's not a discipline problem, it's actually a design problem. The reason why so many students fail is not because they lack motivation, it's actually because the motivation they had was temporary. It's also because habits that we have are actually very powerful. And sometimes, even the rewards that our brains are expecting is actually delayed. That's the reason why these things happen. But let me take a quick pause and I'll tell you what the experts at EduGuard Insights want you to do to make sure that this year you don't falter on your goals. So, number one, choose behaviors that are small, specific, and repeatable. An example is you choosing to study for 10 minutes at the same time every day in that very same place. Number two, the environment that you choose should actually support your habit. It should not fight it. So that means that The distractions that would be within that particular space, they should be avoided. Don't assume that you would welcome the distractions and then you can resist it. No. And number three, make sure your progress is also visible. So have like short feedback loops. Celebrate some of those small wins of yours. You can check off some of your completed sessions and try as much as possible to track your consistency. All right, so my final words. Now, in psychology, improvement is actually not driven by strong intentions. It's actually driven by well designed systems that work with the brain, not against the brain. So, always remember this is not opinion, this is actually science based learning explained for the classroom. Enjoy and remember to subscribe. Last time you didn't subscribe, please do. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.